In this video, we will cover some important skills for coordinate geometry problems. Now, I have A is the point 1, 3 and B is the point 7, 10. What are the coordinates of the midpoint of AB? Now, I can just find the middle value between my X coordinates and my Y coordinates, and that will give me the midpoint of AB. So to find the middle number between 1 and 7, I can add 1 and 7 and divide that by 2. So let's write that. So 1 add 7 divided by 2. And for my Y coordinate, if I add 3 and 10 and divide that by 2, so 3 add 10 divided by 2. And this would be the coordinates of the midpoint. Now if I simplify that, 1 add 7 is 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. And 3 add 10 is 13. 13 divided by 2 is 6.5, or 13 over 2. Now let's just check if this is actually the midpoint. So I have 1 and 7. Now there's 6 numbers between 1 and 7. So if I go 3 more than 1, that will get me the midpoint, and 3 more than 1 is 4. And here, between 3 and 10, there's 7 numbers. So I need to go 3.5 more than 3. And that's going to be 6.5, which is 13 over 2. Now in this next question, what is the length of the line AB, where A is -3 minus 2 and B is 5 minus 5? Now I'll do a quick sketch for these first. Okay, so A is going to be somewhere here. So that's -3 minus 2. And B is 5 minus 5, so that's going to be about there. 5 minus 5. Okay, so I need to find the length between that point and that point. Now, if I go straight down from here, so if I go 3 spaces down and 8 spaces across, I can make a right angle triangle like that. So I'll just draw that. So 3 spaces down and 8 spaces across. Okay, and that makes a right angle triangle. Now I know how to find the length of the hypotenuse when I know this length and this length. Now this length is just the difference in the y values. So from -2 to -5, that's a difference of 3. And this length here is the difference in the x values. So from -3 to 5, that's going to be 8. So let's just write that down. So the difference in x values is 5 take away -3. And I'll put that in a bracket. And remember, this I'm going to use Pythagoras theorem, so I'm going to need to square that. So let's square that. And I need to add the square of this side. So the difference of the y values. So I have -5 take away -2. Okay, so I need to add them. So I need to square this side and add the square of this side. And that will give me the square of this side. So to find this side, I need to square root that. So I need to square root all of this. Okay, now I'm going to simplify it. So I have square root of, well, 5 take away -3 is just 8. And then I have 8 squared here. Add, I have -5 take away -2, that's -5 add 2, so that's going to be -3, so -3 squared. So -3 squared. Now that's going to simplify to square root of 64, add 9, and that's equal to square root of 73. Now I need to check if I can simplify this. Now, is there a square number that's a factor of 73? There isn't. So this is simplified. So the length of this line AB is square root of 73. So the length of the line AB is square root of 73. Now in this next question, I have 2 points given. So A is 2, 8 and B is 5, 10. find the gradient of the line through AB. So I need to find the difference in y values and the difference in x, and I need to divide them. So to work out A, difference in y values, so that's going to be 10 take away 8. Difference in x values, that's going to be 5 take away 2. Now remember, I did 10 take away 8, so I had to do 5 take away 2. So I had to start here. Because I started here at the top, 10 take away 8, I had to start here for 5 take away 2. So 10 take away 8 is 2, and 5 take away 2 is 3. So the gradient of the line through AB is 2 over 3. Now find the gradient of the line that is perpendicular to AB. Now, to find the gradient of the perpendicular line, I know that it must satisfy this. So if I have a gradient, I'll call it M1, and I multiply it to M2, which is another gradient, if the answer is -1, then this gradient and this gradient will give me perpendicular lines. So for my AB, I have 2 over 3. So I have 2 over 3, and I need to multiply it by something to get me -1. So that would be the negative reciprocal of 2 over 3. So the negative reciprocal of 2 over 3 is just -3 over 2. And let's just check that. So if I did 2 over 3 times -3 over 2, well, I know I'm going to get a negative value. And 2 over 3 times 3 over 2 is 1, so it's going to be -1. So the gradient of the perpendicular line is the negative reciprocal of that. So it's -3 over 2. Now, here are some questions for you to try. So answer these questions and then bring that to the lesson.